You're listening to Evolving Moons Podcast with Jess and Katie.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Evolving Moons.
Woo! Evolving Moons. This is our 15th episode. Did you know that?
Ooh, that's fun.
Yeah.
That's like 15 weeks of... It's a bit more than that because we
Yeah.
skipped a few, but...
Well, yeah. 15
Well,
if we don't
yeah.
include the small episode, like our half. But
Oh, we have that
16
little
if
half.
we do.
A little happy?
So, I was thinking, because like our giveaway was so popular, that we would do one at 30. Like our 30th episode.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Halfway there.
Yeah.
What we'll be giving away, we don't know.
But stay tuned.
All right.
Anyhow.
Today we're going to have just kind of a conversation, fun conversation, and we decided our topic is going to be about love.
Yeah, because
That's
we
nice.
love love.
Oh, is it Valentine's Day yet? Oh, God.
Will you be my
Lord.
Valentine?
Yeah, actually, I need one, so that's nice. So love for me has always been kind of really special. Especially, I just shared my spirituality journey, and one of the things that I've had to work on a lot is like living like with my heart, And I think it's a big theme in my life. And one of my mantras actually that I found through all of my meditating and Reiki and stuff is I am with love.
Yeah.
And that's just something that I like to live by sometimes. So when I did the reading today, I used the moon deck. I asked, how can we be with love? And that's it's very kind of a broad statement, but for me, it's just like, how do you go about like leading with your heart almost?
Yeah, I like that. I feel like it's like everything to do with love and like anything that you'd put love into, any like type of receiving love, like all of it. That's nice.
And so when I did this, I actually pulled the love card. And it says, I love myself completely and unconditionally. And there's a little...
It's like a woman holding a moon, right?
Holding a moon. She's
on
like,
a lotus
she's
flower?
coming out of a lotus flower. And that's really symbolic because if a lotus flower, the whole kind of theme behind them and why they're used a lot in like spiritual things is because it's like this beautiful, it grows through the mud basically, and it's like this beautiful flower. But basically this card is all about like self-love, which we've talked a lot about self-love.
Yeah, we love self-love.
We love self-love.
Probably the most into self-love.
Yeah. But basically there was actually a sentence in here that I really liked. It says, we're learning to love and approve of where we are in this moment. You are worthy of complete and unconditional love. Call back all of the love you owe to yourself. The only validation that matters is your own.
I love that.
Which I think is really nice.
Yeah.
So, it's a good one. We've said this before on the podcast. You can't love other people until you love yourself completely. So
I also would go as far as to say, like, you don't even know how to receive love fully unless you've given yourself love.
That's true.
You maybe aren't as receptive to it or aren't as noticing of it or appreciative of it if you don't already love yourself and know what that feels like. So we don't really know like how this episode's going to go. I don't think, we're just kind of going with the flow here, and we're going to talk about
things here.
Yeah, we'll talk about whatever we talk about. But we have found some interesting questions, and we'll probably use like these sets of questions maybe for further episodes. They have like a ton of like just heavy hitter like thinker questions.
Where are you getting these questions?
Just on, I don't know. It was like on.
I thought it was a specific like.
Oh, it was a specific place, but I don't remember it.
Oh, okay, that's nice.
But it was like a psychology type thing.
That's fun.
Let's just go ahead and start with: is love a choice or a feeling?
I don't think it's really a choice. I don't think it's a choice. Do you think it's a choice?
I think it's maybe both.
Well, because for me, there's that saying where it's like you can't choose who you love.
Right. I think it depends on what type of love you're talking about. Romantic love, I definitely think is a feeling, not a choice. Like, you cannot choose who your partner is.
Yeah.
You can try. But if that love is actually genuine love, it's probably because you feel that way, not because you're trying to think into it that way.
That's true.
But I think as far as like loving by choice, maybe that is family. Like that's the first thing that came to my mind was like maybe you don't necessarily have a really deep loving relationship with somebody in your family, but you're choosing to love them anyways because they're your family.
Oh, okay.
Like maybe you don't really have that strong connection with them, or you don't feel that genuineness of like, dang, I hella love that person, or like I feel love from that person, or I think that even they're a good person. Like maybe you don't, but they're part of your family, and so
you have to kind of choose to make like that sacrifice. Almost.
Yeah, like okay, so like I watch like all those like serial killer shows.
Okay, sure.
And there's this one that I watched that what's it called? It's like it's called Evil Lives Here, and it's on Investigation Discovery, and shout out murder mysteries.
Okay.
And a lot of times it'll be like a kid is talking in it, and then later on throughout the show you realize that the evil that's living with them is one of their parents, and their parents are a murderer. Like, or their parents have done something crazy and horrible. It's always murder. So, like, the method of murder changes. But, anywho, you see these kids talking about it, and then it's like, obviously, you can't really love somebody if they're a fucking murderer. Like, you know that that's wrong and that's bad, but you see them with this weird conflict of, like, but they're my dad, you know? And so I think that in that sense, they're choosing to love them regardless.
You can still have love for someone,
right?
Even when they do bad things, which is hard. So I can see why that's like a choice.
But the feeling is hard. That's hard, you know? Yeah. To genuinely feel love towards someone who you know has like taken the lives of others, I feel like that would be really hard, at least for me.
I think that the first thing that I thought of, because at first I was like, no, like you can't choose who you love. But then when you were like, oh, we can like choose that feeling, the first thing I thought of was the card, because we just pulled the card. Yeah. And so like when it comes to self-love, like the first, you're like choosing to step up for yourself, almost kind of thing, like show up for yourself.
I think you can choose to put your love in different places, like going to self-love, you can choose to spend time trying to love yourself, and then eventually it turns into a feeling, but that initial like, I'm gonna love myself today, that's a choice.
Yeah.
So maybe that can happen with relationships too, like.
But I don't know, because then it's not like you don't want to force it. I feel like it's not something that can be forced.
No.
I think that one thing you can choose is to like lead your life with love, like like lead with your heart kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, that's definitely something where it's like
it's like being open to everybody's love. You're open to receiving and giving love to whoever. But I definitely don't. I don't know. Like, romantically, I think it's a feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, Yeah. You just know.
Well, also, it's like, it goes to, like, you love who you love type thing. Like, specifically, like, with, girls who love girls or boys who love boys. Yeah, like LGBT. It's like, that's the whole thing is love. It's not a choice. It is a feeling. And I definitely wholeheartedly agree with that. Like, you don't get to pick that, So, I think it's both, but more a feeling, I think. All right, well, let's keep going with our questions here. Let's do... Oh, this is interesting.
Okay.
Do we love people because of who they are or in spite of who they are?
What?
Like, do we love people because of what they show us, or do we love people regardless of what they show us? Like, I think we love people because of what they show us, not because we're willing to look past bad things.
I think that you need the first one, and then the second one comes
after. Yeah. Once
like,
it's more developed.
Like they show you the good parts of them, you learn all about it, but then once you guys are like already connected and you're sucked in, and you like are in love, then like maybe you start to notice the bad things, and it's like we're willing to
in spite of that.
Yeah, we're willing to overlook them.
I think maybe that's where like the unconditional love comes in. It's like at first. Yeah, you love what you see, you love what they're showing you, you love how you guys connect, and then later on you're like, oh fuck, maybe I don't like this as much about that person, but I love them anyways.
Yeah, I'm thinking about like bad habits.
Yeah. Like habits and I don't know, like sometimes like I'll think of like friends, sometimes your friends fuck up. Like you're like, fuck, I wish my friend didn't act like that, or like I don't agree, or like I wouldn't act that way.
Learn to love them anyway.
But they're your friends, so you love them. Yeah.
Well, I guess it depends on what exactly the fuck up is. But they could do something maybe to someone else. It's like, oh, I fucked up, but like they're your friends, and it's they're willing to admit it. You have to see the growth in them also. But
like if your friend's mean to someone, or your friend has previously, like I've had friends that. Then I'll meet somebody else and they'll be like, oh, you're friends with that person? Like, they acted this way towards me before. And I'm like, oh,
that's me. I feel like there's people that I'm friends with and you're like, or not friends, but you're like, why do you talk to them? And I'm like, oh, well.
Yeah, you're like, well, I love them.
Well, I love them anyways, even though, they're the worst.
But yeah, definitely with partners too. Also, maybe we can talk about how as you grow, you change. And so, like, maybe those changes are not favorable. I don't know. Like, maybe as you grow older, you get more angry. And then it's like you're with somebody and then you just kind of have to deal with their anger. Or like, you're like, well, I love them.
They're not living with their heart.
Yeah.
They're not living with their heart.
They're living with their angriness. No. But I think you love initially because of who they are.
Yeah,
and then
you're able to see like their core person.
But I think that if you don't, like if you were to just see the bad in people, like if they showed you all of those like things.
My biggest flaw is that I always see the good in people, and I'm willing to
I would agree.
Love them. Yeah, that's my biggest thing.
You definitely love in spite of things,
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm more of like I love because of who you are, because sometimes I feel like I'm quicker to cut people off because of that. I'm like, oh no, you fucked up. I'm not down anymore.
Yeah.
You're more
I'm
like
willing to forgive always.
Yeah, you're like, but they're a good person.
I don't like living with grudges or I don't know.
I wouldn't say I live with grudges.
Well, no, I just meant like
personally. I just think I don't put up with anyone's bullshit. No. Oh, is there such a thing as a soulmate or kindred spirit? I think yeah.
Yeah.
I think you can have soulmates. I think you can have soulmates plural. Like you can have it's not like you just get one.
There's only one, yeah.
There's one match to your soul. I think that your soul is so diverse.
Yeah.
And you have, especially like us talking about all the astrology shit, it's like you have so many different planets ruling inside of you that how can you just have one soulmate, That doesn't even make sense to me.
Yeah, I think it's like you find someone and then they become your soulmate. It wasn't like they were already your soulmate.
So you don't believe in like destiny or like love at first sight type thing?
Well, love at first sight is different than destiny, I think.
Yeah.
Like,
but you don't think that like somebody was meant to be in your life as your soulmate? Like when you meet somebody, you're not just like, oh, it's my soulmate. Like they were meant to be here.
Well, I think it's like a good description word, Yeah,
like it is.
Like I don't know, like
everyone
I've ever been with, I thought was my soulmate. So it's like all my boyfriends.
It depends on what you define as a soulmate. Like what is a soulmate?
Did I manifest them and like now they're here in my life? Does that make them my soulmate, or is it like the way we grow together and the way we love each other?
Yeah.
And like how compatible we are.
I feel like it's pretty like a simple thing in my head. Like a soulmate is just like where you feel at home. Like it's somebody that you're just so comfortable with, that you're so at home with, you just vibe in like so many different ways and aspects. Like my sister is somebody who I'm like, that's my fucking soulmate. Like that's my bitch, like, I don't know. Like I can talk to her about anything. There's never something that is missing there. I never really feel like I need to explain myself with her either. I feel like she just gets it automatically. And like, we just vibe so well together. And like, that's like what a soulmate is to me. And that's why I feel like you can have so many. Is like, it can be your best friend's soulmate. It can be like a soulmate in your family. It can be like your romantic soulmate. Like I think that Joshua is also my soulmate because we're best friends, like I want to do everything in life with him and like he lifts me up in life. And so that's like a different connection. Yeah. I think
being best friends is so important to me.
Yeah.
It's like a biggest thing. It's not really the question.
No, but that's a huge thing too.
You have to be best friends with the person you're going to spend the rest of your life with.
Yeah.
And that could be anyone. That doesn't, I don't necessarily mean your partner. Like you and Steph are best friends,
Right.
And so that's why.
Yeah.
It's just a thing.
But especially with partners.
Well, yeah.
I think that's
obviously. That's important to me. It's
like if you're going to call your partner your soulmate, but you wouldn't call them your best friend or your ride or die.
Yeah, you shouldn't be like, oh, I fucking hate him sometimes. Like,
but we're soulmates.
But we're soulmates. You should be like, no, that's my fucking best friend.
Yeah, that's number one.
I always want to hang out with him every day. Like
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, sometimes you need a break.
I mean, yeah. I definitely don't want to hang out with him every day, but I'm never upset to hang out with him. I'm never like, fuck, I wish you weren't here right now. Like,
well, also, just sometimes it's just like being able to sit with each other. Like,
yeah,
you don't necessarily have to be doing anything together
at all.
Like
yeah.
you can just like you're doing your own thing, but you're just there with each other.
Yeah, like their presence is just dope. You know?
Yeah, and you don't have to like try or like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Continuing on. Should you change for someone that you love?
No.
Why?
You shouldn't have to change who you are in order for that person to love you or for like you to love them. I think if you're going to change, like you need to change, like, I don't know, you're a fucking drug addict, I don't know, you know, like you need to change, you should be doing that for yourself before you should be doing it for other people. Because, you know what I mean?
Yes, but I don't agree.
Oh, why? You think that someone should have to change?
No, I think that if you, because the question is, should we change for people that we love? Not because they're telling us to. Like, I think that you should.
You have to change who you are.
Not that you have to change who you are, but if there's like growth to be made or things that you could change that would make you more compatible with the other person, that they also should be doing those things. Like, I think that you both kind of have to change a little bit into each other to fit. Like, I don't think two people just fit perfectly together off the bat. Like, because people have different love languages, people have different ways of communication, people have different ways of learning. So to just meet somebody and be like, oh, they're definitely going to communicate exactly how I communicate. Or like when we go through something difficult, they're going to go through it the same way I go through it. Or they're going to know how I go through it. You know, I think that you can change yourself to better fit that person in smaller ways that help you both out. You know, like something that Joshua and I had to like work with each other was like the communication thing. Like when we would argue, he's somebody that wants to fix the problem right away. And I'm somebody that needs time to think about it and process it. And like, I'm fine coming back to something like the next day or 2 days later on. But he's like, I can't go to bed mad. He's like one of those types of people. It's like, I want to make up before we both go to sleep. I don't want to go to bed angry. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, fuck it. I'll be mad for a week and then we can talk, you know? So for that, we both had to change.
I don't think you should ever go to bed angry, though.
Oh, but like, I'm fine with that. See, like, you and I are different on that, too. You know, like, I'd rather not have that artificial makeup just because we don't want to be mad at each other than not, like, I want my time to think about things and process things and, like, think about what I want to say and how I truly feel and why I feel that way. Like, I need to go through all that on my own and figure that out before I come and address the situation. So in that sense, we both had to change.
I guess that's very specific. I feel like that's part of like growing together.
Yeah, but that means change to me. Like,
although when you asked that question, I took it as like, should you change who you are as a person?
I think that's up to you. Yeah, like
for someone, I would never expect someone to completely change who they are in order for us to be together.
Well, no, I don't think that you should.
Then obviously we weren't meant to be together.
Right. Yeah, and I also don't think that. Like if you were to meet somebody and then they wanted a specific type of person that you should feel as though you had to change to be with them either. You know, I don't think either is okay.
Yeah.
But I do think that small changes are fine, you know, or like habitual changes are good sometimes, or behavioral changes if they're minor, like not totally who that person is within their makeup and all of their characteristics, but like bits and pieces.
There are, I guess, there's like areas for growth together, always.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you're learning how to figure each other out.
Too. Yeah, because change is growth, you know, so I think that some change is good because growth is always good. And like, it's also like maturing maybe, you know, like maybe you think that the way that you act is great, but to be able to adapt to everybody else's ways of life or like what other people need is also really a powerful tool and trait to have. Like if you can communicate with everybody on their level of communication, that's pretty cool. You know, if you know how to change to fit each different person that you're around, whether it's your family or your friends or your romantic partner, like if you know how they best handle things and then you come at their level, that's like pretty cool, you know?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I feel like I used to do that a lot, you know? It's kind of like, for me, it was I'm forming a different version of myself for all these different people, and when you do that, I think you can kind of lose sight of yourself, you know?
Yeah.
Or it's like you're trying to make all these other people happy, and you forget about yourself kind of along the way.
Yeah, that's definitely
something I've been working on, because it's like I just want to be 100% myself with all the people that I'm with. you know, so
Yeah.
maybe in that way, like, I've
I
kind of changed.
I wouldn't say that it's like making everyone happy, you know.
Well, I know I just meant me specifically,
Yeah.
like an example.
But I don't. Yeah, that's not good. You know, like you should definitely know who you are, and like you shouldn't be always striving to make others happy, including people that you love.
Mm-hmm.
Like it needs to also be equally as much about you, and sometimes even more about you, and like yeah, sometimes less, but usually pretty equal. But I think that like the little changes for each different person,
Mm-hmm.
like I know how each person in my family communicates, and it's all different. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like my sister communicates differently than my mom communicates differently than my dad.
Mm-hmm.
So when I talk to them, I know how to talk to them for like the most effective form of communication. Not to say that I'm losing like myself and how I communicate, but I just can change slightly
Mm-hmm.
to all those people, and I think that that's cool and good and positive.
Another way that I kind of just thought about, like the way you could take this question is like, I don't think that you should be changing yourself negatively.
Yeah, definitely
someone.
not. Definitely
I
not.
feel like I've
That's a thing.
done that. I did that recently.
Yeah, I like
Probably,
to fucking.
like,
I used to like to date boys that would skateboard all the time, every day, and
Yeah.
have no ambition in life, and do drugs. So then, what did I do? I went and sat at the skate park and didn't do my homework and did drugs. And it's like, what? Why? Would I have done that by myself? Maybe,
Yeah.
but probably not. Like
that was like me recently. I was like,
you were at the
wild.
skate park recently doing drugs.
No. I just meant like I was wilding out, thinking like,
yeah,
I'm in love with this person. I'm gonna be with this person. And it's like, what the fuck am I doing? Like you have to wake up.
Whoa.
You have to wake up and you're like, okay, like this isn't me.
Yeah,
like that was. That's another way.
Reel her in, yeah.
Reel it out. Like get back to yourself. Like calm the fuck down.
Okay, so we're going to do one more question, and that is, does love ever conquer all, or is that just a notion that greeting card companies like to use and like a hype? I think that love does not conquer all.
Why?
Because it can't. Like, I don't think it can. Like, because that, to me, that goes back to the question of like, do you love because of or like in spite of? And love cannot conquer all, because it's like you can love somebody infinitely and then they can do something so terrible, or like they can be such a bad person, or they can be really bad for you, and love cannot conquer that. Like you have to at some point realize like, you know what, no, this isn't good for me. Like as much as I have this like undying amount of love for them, it's bad for my mental health. Or like as much as I love them, they did these things and that's not forgivable. So, like, in a relationship, I don't think love can conquer all. Also, in the world, I don't think love can conquer all.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think that, like, in order for that to happen, every single person would have to pour the same amount of love in.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, let's take our country, you know, like America. Like, if America just, like, loved a country that hated us, like North Korea, like, if America just like loved North Korea so much, North Korea could still hate us, you know? So I don't think that love can conquer the hate, because you both have to be putting in love. Like you can love something so much, like an animal, you know? If I had a baby tiger, you know, like I could give it so much love and I could feed it every day. But maybe not, you know? Maybe
it probably would.
Fucking eat my face. Maybe it would scratch me. Maybe it would bite me. Maybe it would eventually need to eat me, you know? Like, we don't know. So no, I don't think love conquers all.
I disagree.
Okay.
What, I don't know. So like when it comes to relationships, you know, like maybe love won't conquer all every time, you know, because sometimes you just don't fucking work out. So you can love someone with all your heart, you know.
And then they cheat on you. Oh,
that's nice. Have you seen that TikTok challenge where it's like, it's the blank for me? What's like that? That was... I felt
it's the cheating boyfriends for me.
Anyways, fuck. I think that love can conquer all, like
in like a world setting.
In a world setting, and I think it's because I think that everyone should be like living through their heart.
Yeah,
and that's very. I'll get like super spiritual woo woo on you right now, but one of my favorite things is the heart chakra. And, you know, it's this concept where when you are living through your heart, you know, you're leading with your heart, and that can come out in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
hold on, I have things. Pause this when you're editing the video. When you are leading through your heart, right, you have this capacity to love. You're able to connect with people more, both like people and nature, like everything around you. But you're also able to have deeper and more meaningful relationships and connections. Not just like being able to connect, but you're able to like kind of reach that thing. And then you can have blockages in your chakras. So, like there's this idea that you have a blockage. And some people even think like if there's a blockage, like you will have like physical ailments.
Really?
Yeah, because like every chakra is related to like different lymph nodes or like organs, so it's like you can actually have something wrong with you. And they say like it's not like life threatening. No, like I'm not saying like you have cancer and if you fix your heart chakra then it'll go away, No. But there's like things like that. But for when your heart chakra is closed, you can be overly defensive, you can feel closed off, you can be incredibly jealous and have a fear of intimacy. You can become codependent because you don't know how to like live through your own heart, so you have to like rely on someone else's. You can be someone who like is victimized all the time. You can be antisocial and isolate yourself, and you can hold grudges and not be able to forgive. And I feel like I was living like that, kind of, like maybe not all of those aspects, but for the longest time. Like I remember, my 2010 Facebook statuses remind me of like how I was all the time back in the day, and I'll see my statuses pop up in my memories, and it's like fuck Valentine's Day, like stupidest holiday, like what, like oh my god, what was I doing? It's like I fucking love Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is cute, But the first time I was getting, both of the times I was getting Reiki, every single time I work on my heart chakra. And I remember the second time I got Reiki, I figured like, oh, I've healed from the first time. Like I'm able to like live with love in my life. Yeah. And I went into it thinking like, oh, I want to work on a different chakra. I don't remember. There's all the chakras, and I was like, oh, I want to like work on this. And it was like for something specific. I think I wanted to work on, I think it's your sacral. It's like being creative kind of thing. I was wanting to like do a bunch of stuff.
But then they were like, nah.
But then when I was doing it, like I remember Milana Snow came up to me and we're all laying down and we're like doing breath work, like breathing exercises. And she literally comes into, like, I forget what exactly she said, but she was like you need to fucking let go and like open. And she like touched my heart and it was like feel it cracking open. So I don't know, and that was when the mantra like I am with love came to me in my meditation. That's nice. I'm a witch,
So you think that love can conquer all?
I think it can, because if everyone is living that way, you don't necessarily like that doesn't have to be your best chakra, whatever your strongest point. But I think that if we all learn to like have that acceptance and like learn that way, you're able to both give and receive more love.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, like in my thing, why I said I don't think love could conquer all was because I don't think everybody lives with love.
Yeah, I think everyone should. So that's why I think
I also think
if we all live through love, love would conquer all.
That's really nice.
That's nice.
So I guess we'll go ahead and end it here. I don't know. I mean, I think what's the point of this? What's the point of this podcast? Love is important.
Love is important.
We love love. You should love love.
We should all live with love in our hearts. We should work on it. Actually, I have a good thing to end it with. Okay. Ways little exercises that you can do.
Oh, that's really cute.
Mm-hmm.
We hope that you guys listened along with these questions and maybe thought of them yourself, discuss them with some people that you love. Because I love Katie, so.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
All right. Some simple practices you can do to both work on your heart chakra and live with more love in your life. Work with the breath, balance your energy, play with breathing exercises. There's lots of good ones out there. You can look them up.
Yeah.
I've done a few. They're challenging, but you have to work through them.
Maybe we'll try and do some of these later on this week and post it like on our Instagram or something.
Okay, yeah, I can lead us through a
We
breathwork
can have
exercise.
like a fun love week.
Yeah, that's fun.
Why not?
Cultivate your appreciation for beauty, whether it's in nature, people, or in the arts.
Ooh.
Practice self-care and love your body up. We have a whole self-care episode, so you can go check that one out.
Yeah.
For good self-care tips. Cultivate self-compassion and acceptance, especially with regards to your emotion and body. Engage in activities that feed your heart.
That's nice.
Focus on receiving if you are naturally more a giver, or focus on giving if you're naturally more a receiver.
That's cool.
So being able, like, which one are you?
Yeah.
More, like, worse at, better at? I don't know.
Yeah. More frequent.
Reflect on old wounds inherited from family relationships and come to terms with them compassionately. Practice forgiveness deep within your heart.
That's a toughie.
That's a pretty deep one.
Yeah.
That's a pretty
That
deep
one's
one.
like, I feel like an ongoing one, maybe.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
just like a quick.
I would get Reiki healing for that one.
That would take some time.
And finally, express your gratitude even if it's in silence. You can be grateful for the presence of other people in your life or simply for good things that make your life easier and happier.
That's so nice.
These are all good ones.
I love that. I love being grateful. I love like thinking
I
of
love
things that
being
I'm
grateful.
for.
Oh, that's such a nice feeling.
Yeah.
Like, and you don't have to necessarily like express it. It could be something so small.
It could just be a thought. Yeah. Just like in that moment, like I'm so grateful for that happening, or like
it could be something, super small. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. The other day, the AC was on, and I was like, I am so grateful that that I have air conditioning right now, and that I'm sitting in this air conditioning.
Yeah, because
lots of people.
Shout out everybody who lives in California that we're going through.
We're going through a huge heat wave right now, and I went and I got a burger. Another thing to be grateful for. I went and I got a burger, and it was really good. But this guy in front of us, he was just talking, and he was like, oh, like our power went out, like the whole block, and it's been out for like 26 hours, and my neighbor got wheeled out in an ambulance.
Oh, that's so sad.
Because it was too hot, yeah. Had like a heat stroke or whatever.
Stay safe out there, y'all.
Yeah, stay safe.
Anywho.
Yeah, we hope you liked this episode.
Like, subscribe, comment, share us.
Talk to us.
Follow us on Instagram.
What do you think about any of these questions? Let us know.
Yeah. Yeah, do you agree with us? Do you disagree with us? Let us know.
Did we miss something huge? Are we missing like a big
point?
A
big point about love.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, share us your favorite love story too. That's cute.
Oh, that's cute. We love a good love story.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we love you.
Love ya. See you. Bye.
Why not?
Why not?
Take a crazy chance. Why not? Why not? Do a crazy dance. Oh!